Good morning and welcome everyone to the Weigh In, the second edition of a live broadcast with someone who has lost a significant amount of weight and kept it off for a lengthy period of time. The purpose of these is to just share our stories so that the people who lost the weight can keep what they have and they can help others do the same. A reminder that the Weigh In does not support, sponsor, fund, sell, or push any type of product or solution or whatever service. It really is just to find out how people have lost the weight and kept it off. Take what you want, leave the rest, and be sure to be loving, kind, and gentle in the questions and comments, which I know that you all are, or you wouldn't be part of our community. So thank you again for joining. We're going to get right into it. This is Barbara Murray, and I'm going to put her contact information up front in the event you want to get a hold of her. I'll also share it again at the end. But Barbara's going to talk to us today about her weight loss journey. In particular, I've known Barbara since we guessed around 2010, 2011. I'm going to say it's the latter part of 2010. But we met at a Weight Watchers meeting because I tried everything in my life and to lose the weight. That was one of the protocols. But Barbara's going to talk to us about how she lost the weight and how she's able to keep it off. So welcome and thank you, Barbara, for joining.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for asking me.
Oh, and one more big announcement is the people who are using the Weigh In tracker. We have lost 12 people in that group so far this year, have lost 16.7 pounds. So please congratulate all the people. Laura lost 7.8 pounds in that first I think it was actually 10 days that week. So it was a little longer, but I think she started Sunday to Sunday. So congratulations, Laura. Colleen is down 3.4. Karen is down 1.5. Alicia, a whopping 2.8. And there was somebody else. Where's Jenny? Jenny, I think you lost almost 4 pounds. So a lot of people are doing some great things. So congratulations to everybody. Yes, look at all those love buttons. Love that. All right. So Barbara, let's, when was too much too much? Where was the beginning of your story?
Okay. So firstly, I realize that my story may not be as dramatic or maybe as big as a lot of folks' stories, but it is my story. And my life has been full of defining moments and things along the way that sort of pushed me to, I guess you could say, enough is enough. I had no weight problems until adolescence, which for me was like age 10. And then it was like there wasn't a thing I could do about it. I mean, it was like somebody blew up a balloon. And one of my early defining moments was back in the old days when I went to elementary school. I don't know why, but once a year they lined up everybody in the gym and you got weighed and they would say that weight out loud and write it down. And I can still hear that gym teacher saying my weight out loud. And if I hadn't gained weight from COVID, it would be more than I weigh today.
Wow.
Yes. So, and it was more than a lot of the boys. And you know, it's just one of those things that just sort of stuck with you. At that young age, I don't really think I did anything about it. I didn't, had the whole thing, acne, overweight. I was a nerd in school. I did great. I did great in school scholastically, but no boyfriends, no dances. I did journalism and creative writing and, all of that sort of stuff, which is great. It's who I am. But I wasn't who I wanted to be, So time went on, grew up, got married, just kept on gaining. I never lost and regained, at least till that point. And to be honest, I don't remember why I joined Weight Watchers for the first time, but I joined it with my ex-husband. And Yes, I do remember, because there was a defining moment. Yes, I do. We wanted to get pregnant, and I was struggling to get pregnant. And my GYN said, you shouldn't even think about getting pregnant unless you lose some weight. I was aghast. Yeah. I was aghast. And I went out of there saying, that's bullcrap. People bigger than me are getting pregnant every single day. That's ridiculous. In that same week, again, the old days, you used to take pictures on film and mail them off, and they would come back to you the next week or something. And I got some pictures back from a little trip to Busch Gardens with my ex-husband. We were young, we were happy. I was in my 20s, and I remember he took tons of pictures. He thought I was cute and adorable, but we took tons of pictures on the merry-go-round, waving, sitting, eating, drinking. He got me this new little terry cloth outfit to wear, a little short outfit. I thought it was adorable. Well, the pictures said otherwise. And I looked at those pictures and I said, that doctor has a point. That doctor has a point. And I did share that particular picture from Busch Gardens on the weigh-in page a couple days ago. So that was the impetus to get my ex-husband and I to join Weight Watchers. And I joined it. I lost all the weight I needed to lose. But compared to my ex-husband, who had his weight problem was way bigger than mine, and he was a man. And week after week after week, 5 pounds, 7 pounds, 3, and I'm going like half a pound. And, they were applauding him, and, he was Mr. Wonderful. And, I don't know how I'm sounding right now, but he still, all these years later, he still has his weight problem, and he's only has increased all of the corresponding health issues that come along with it. And I, slow and steady, lost the weight. Didn't keep it off forever, but kept it off for a while. I went to work for Weight Watchers at that point, and hallelujah, I got pregnant. And I gained I gained enough weight. I think I gained 23 pounds when I was pregnant, but nothing like I would have if I hadn't been aware of Weight Watchers. So that was wonderful. But then once I had that kid, it pretty much went all out the window. It was just too hard for me. I felt at that time. I admire those of you, and I always have, who take this bull by the horns, do whatever it takes in your childbearing years, your working career, and on top of all of that, work at this weight loss issue. Because I'm here to tell you, I bowed out. I bowed out for about 20 years. And it wasn't good, because other defining moments is that I was a mother on the sidelines. I wasn't an active mother. I wasn't a mother who would play with my kids. They'd be on the playground. Mom, look at me. I'd be like, hi, I see you. I'm going to sit right here. And now, however many years, my son's, whatever he is, 36. I have grandchildren. I'm not on the sidelines. And even though I am all of these years older, I'm not lying when I tell you I feel better emotionally, physically, any way that you can name, compared to how I felt in my 20s and 30s. And that's astounding. And I try to live without regrets, but I do regret that. That wasn't, I'd be sitting on the sofa telling my kids to bring me the potato chips, because I couldn't even get up and do that for myself. So, but the end of the story is much better. So I did regain the weight through those years. Off and on, I was one who would I wasn't a big joiner or trying different things, but I would buy magazines, or I had subscriptions, and whatever the diet of the month was, I'd be out buying those ingredients and cooking those recipes. So it would last till the weekend, maybe. It might not even last till Monday evening. So it never stuck. I did do one thing through church once. where I lost a significant amount of weight. It was a workbook and, a discussion group, and it was very, very helpful. And I got down to a decent weight, and I kept that off for a good while. But in we won't say, one of those years, 23 years ago, I was reaching a significant age, and it was like, no more. I had become a grandmother. at the ripe old age of 37 via my stepson. And I just decided, no more. Went back to Weight Watchers, lost all the weight again. And again, so proud to say that I have been had it off for 23 years. Weight Watchers was just the tool, okay?
Years?
Yes, 23 years. So, so Weight Watchers was just the vehicle. It was just the tool, and I chose it because science, because proven track record, because I liked the support, the conversation. I loved Jean Nidetch's story, the founder of Weight Watchers. So the tagline way back when was some listening, some talking, and a program that works. And I think that's true. That's still very true. I went on to work for Weight Watchers for 18 years, and I worked for them until 2017 when I got my current job. So that is my story. But what I'd like to talk about is the things that Paula mentioned when she asked me, which was, so how do you keep it off? How do you get yourself back on track? And I could tell you a million things. I could tell you tips, tricks, tools, little things I do. But the real answer to that question is what happens right here. What happens right there in the mind. It's how you are mentally. It's how you think. It's mostly how you talk to yourself. And if I could give 3 words, it would be don't give up. That sounds simplistic. We could have 3 other words. Hang in there. But that's the only thing that's going to defeat you. If you can guard against discouragement, and I know it's hard. I know it's really hard. There's a lot to be discouraged about in our world. And like I said, I gained 10 pounds over COVID time. It's still hard. The whole climate in our country, it's still hard. And then I put on 2 more pounds over the holidays for good measure. So, and it's been scary to me because this has never happened in my 23 years. I've gained a few pounds here, a few pounds there, gone on vacation, didn't work my plan when I planned to work my plan, but nothing like this has ever happened. I mean, if that keeps on, I lose all my credibility. How many times do you gain 10 pounds to regain the weight? But at least I've stopped the bleeding. I've been able to stop the bleeding. And again, it's just working to guard against that discouragement. You can learn to talk to yourself differently. You can practice talking to yourself differently. Having worked for Weight Watchers for 18 years, I hear a lot of things that people say, that people want, that people expect, that actually will lead you to discouragement. I hear desperation a lot. I hear things like, I'll do anything to lose weight. I'll do anything to lose this weight. And I know a lot of us have felt that way. A lot of us have spent tons of money on gym memberships, gym equipment, food plans. You all know it as well as I do. It just runs the gamut of what this is the thing that's going to work. This is the thing. I'll do anything. But I think that desperation leads to discouragement because your magic, whatever it is this time that you're willing to do, doesn't work. And are we desperate enough to eat less and move more? Eat less, move more. And you just start. Something that's worked for me is not making the goals too big. It's January. I'm going to lose 40 pounds. I have so much to lose. I'm going to lose, all of this weight. Then we don't. And it's okay, but we have to be kind to ourselves. We have to have patience, and we have to be kind to ourselves. And I feel like I have really learned that one over the years, because otherwise, and we throw in the towel, every Monday afternoon when we mess up on getting started again. So tackling one small goal at a time. We're human. We're never going to be perfect. Never, ever, ever going to be perfect. And messing up is part of the journey. It's what you do next. It's not what you did. It's what you do next. It's the next decision. And for me, no matter what happens, always having the next plan. And it doesn't have to be a big outline or anything. For example, my husband and I made a trip to Mexico a number of years ago, and I didn't feel like gaining 5 or 6 pounds. I was like, this is ridiculous that every time we go away, I totally go, woohoo, I'm going to eat and drink. And, let's just not mess up this time. And I don't think my goals were real big. I don't really remember that. It was probably like eat more fruits and vegetables, exercise every day. And within a day or two, I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like thinking about it. I didn't want to think about it. And I said, I'm not. And I didn't feel good about that. No. But what I said next was, and I probably pulled out my phone or a piece of paper and put a date on the calendar. The Monday after we get back, I'm going to go to the store, and you just start again. So it's don't give up. It's hang in there. Start again. Be kind. It's the mental end of this game that we really have to get. And the question is how. The answer might not be the same for each one of you. I would like to let you guys know that I am a wellness coach now, apart from Weight Watchers, since I'm not affiliated with them anymore. And my big job on that is to help folks figure out their own best solutions. Because like Paula has said, what worked for me might not work for you. What worked for the lady who talked last week might not work for you. You've got to figure out what's going to work for you. And through engaging and talking and asking questions and setting action plans is a way for you to have some accountability. So if anyone would ever be interested in working with me in that way, Paula has put up the email. We could definitely communicate about something like that.
So it's interesting. Oops, are you getting feedback?
A little bit.
So it's interesting that and pardon the technical issues, there might be some slow internet connections here and there. So what I'm hearing, the difference is that you are now in a place where you're saying that not all one size fits all, that it's a matter of understanding the various options and tools and resources that are out there based on where that person is at the moment, which is very different from what I was getting. So I went to a nutritionist who said, you have to eat no more than 150 carbs a day. And that's it. That's the solution. That was the solution that this nutritionist at Johns Hopkins University, by the way, gave to every single patient that crossed her threshold. And I walked right out, and I went out and ate a hell of a lot more than 150 grams of carb in that one meal. So, I mean, I just felt very defeated at that point. So what do you say to those people who have they literally have in their minds, and I tracked everything down. I've tried 51. I added one more to it, attempts at weight loss. How do you know what the right plan is for you. How do you even go about figuring that out?
Well, there's a hard question. You have to know yourself to some degree. But Paula, I know that Jean Nidetch did exactly what you did way back in the day. She went to a weight loss doctor and he handed her a piece of paper. Do this. Here's your 1,200 calorie diet. Good luck. I know that I have a sister who has struggled with weight her entire life, including being bulimic, including going away to a camp in Arizona when she had 3 small children at home. And she had a friend take her for a walk. I really want to talk to you about your weight issue. And that friend said to my sister, have you ever thought about going on a diet? Well, like, oh, no, I didn't. Thank you for helping me. So,
What did your sister say?
I think my sister probably was diplomatic and kept her mouth shut, or probably just told her the truth. Yes, she tried every diet under the sun and it didn't work. And this was a person, obviously, who had never struggled with her weight a day in her life, but was going to help my sister.
So, there's a lot of there's a lot of I mean, there's this the foundation isn't emotional. From what I'm hearing from you and from what I know to be true is that you do have to hit your bottom. You know, you do have to hit that level of pain that says you can't take it anymore. And for some people, it's going to be a far lower bottom than others. And I remember what happened last year when I took time off from the weigh in. I did exactly what you knew I was going to do. I gained even more weight. And so I returned here, not just 100 pounds overweight, but 115 pounds overweight. And so now I'm struggling to lose all of that. So we've got some great guests that are chiming in here, and I want to thank them. There's Lee and Elizabeth and Kathy. You know Kathy, Shauna. They're all agreeing with you that you've got to work the plan. You've got to change your mindset. And we've got one person here who seems to be relatively new, Valerie. Yes, mindset. But we've got one person. Let me think back. Hey, Donna. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Diane. Good morning from Long Beach. Here it is. Terry Renee. She posted this a couple of times. Has anyone been big as I? And how did you deal with the excess weight? Still trying to lose and still trying. So you've got this excess skin and you're still trying to lose weight. Have you ever come across anybody like that, Barbara? I haven't.
I've had folks who've lost more than 100 plus pounds. Tiffany Boblets might be on this call.
Tiffany, are you out there? Speak up if you are.
But yeah. But, you know, some have just sort of lived with it. Some have had surgery. But, you know, I hear her that she's saying, well, she's still trying to lose, so it wouldn't be the time for it now.
So Kinsey, is Kinsey the same set as mindset? I don't know what Kinsey is, Jamie. And good morning, Jamie. Some of these people are joining us from Australia. Oh, so it's a long day for them. Yeah. So again, thank you to everybody who's been on. We have about 5 minutes left. So I do want to ask Barbara a couple of other things. So Barbara, emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Emotions are directly tied to my eating.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get away from that. I mean, that I can't argue it is what I'm trying to say. How do you get through handling an emotion that would typically lead you to the food, but you can stop yourself? It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Okay, going back to the very, very basics. To me, the first step in getting yourself on the right track is to set up your environment for success. so that if that emotion comes, it's going to involve taking a trip to the 7-Eleven, taking a trip to the fast food place, taking a trip. And sometimes you do it. Sometimes you're willing to leave your current environment to get that thing, but it can at least be a stopgap. Also, defining and figuring out, if you can, what happened, basically working backwards. What happened before that emotion hit, the trigger. I'm not remembering all my terms right now real well, but there's a series of steps I've read about, that you just kind of work your way backwards so that you can recognize when that's starting to happen and do something alternatively. I've heard read a book, take a bubble bath, take a walk. Yeah, that all sounds great. And it is, but it's words. When I'm in the moment of that, oh, I'll just go read a book. That doesn't work. But
Right.
if you can find things that will work for you, that are appealing enough, and if you can, and you don't have that junk in your house, and wait 5 minutes, set that timer for 5 minutes, and try to do something else, set it for another 5 minutes, and just see. I love to play games with myself. Well, I'll just see. Maybe I can. Maybe I think now. Here's the game that doesn't work for me. I'm just going to eat one Oreo. I never win that game. I worked for 23 years, and I can't eat one Oreo. But I can do 5 minutes. Okay, I can do 5 more minutes. Sometimes the emotion will pass. Sometimes you're involved in something else. But again, just kind of working backwards from when the hands go into whatever, making your environment such that the whatever isn't there for your hands to go into. Simply, at least here, I'm very committed right now. I have an action plan right now. I'm doing 21 days of prayer and fasting at my church right now. Not major fasting. My fast is I'm giving up unhealthy snacks and soda. So some still unhealthy snacks come your way. I put them all in the freezer because I'm not willing to throw them away, but they're all frozen. And my mindset is such that should work.
So I do want to call up. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in here, because this is quite affirming that none of us are alone. We're all going through this. Elizabeth posted something that actually hit for me. She said, stop your thoughts, plan what you will do with that emotion. I had to work on that trigger for 7 months. So to me, that tenacity, that, what's the word I'm looking for? That commitment is really, has got to be there. And that's why this word, I have my two words for this year are balance and commitment. And it's really the commitment to balance, right? Mm-hmm. So it's, yeah, that kind of hit home. Kathy also said, 5 minutes wait, are you bored or are you really hungry? That's the question. Are you angry? What is it? Lonely, angry, tired, hangry, whatever it is, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. So HALT, right? Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. And it's just, what is this? I can't eat just another, I think she's talking about Oreos. Jenny, who lost like 4 pounds this week, close to 4 pounds. Bet Henry, does everybody remember Betty? Betty! She is now in Florida. So, and Lee, Kathy Darden, you too, has to stop and binge before it starts with Stop, Drop, and Feel. Please check it out, and we will do that. We are actually out of time. That is it. Our 30 minutes is up. I cannot thank you all for joining us enough. This has helped me more than I'm sure that it will ever help you. But just for today, I am going to eat on plan, and I'm going to clean the house, which I did not do the first day of the year. I got sidetracked with something else, and so, but I am going to do that commitment. So this week, Barbara, I gained actually a 0.5 pound, which I'm not too worried about. At least it wasn't a full pound, and at least I righted all the wrongs or most of the wrongs that I did this week. So one day at a time, people, that's all we've got. One day at a time. It'll all happen for everybody. And I want to thank Dana, Helga, Kathy, Elizabeth, Lee, Betty, Jenny. Oh my goodness, the whole list. There's a lot of them. Jamie, for all showing up today and participating in the Weigh In's live broadcast. More to come. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. And thank you, Barbara.
My pleasure. Thank you.